Hello and welcome to Big Red Journeys. I'm your host Big Red, and on today's journey we're here in Batuu, more specifically Galaxy's Edge at the Disneyland Resort, because we're here to celebrate the season of the Force, everything that has to do with Star Wars here. So excited, lots of food to try, new merchandise to pick up, some drinks over at Olga's that we have to check out, and some new characters. I heard there's a shady guy wearing a black robe who just landed here in Batuu, so we're going to see if he's friendly or not, and hopefully we'll get to see him. Outside of that, we're going to have a great time checking everything that has to do for the season of Force. It's something to do for every Star Wars fan here at Disneyland. So if you care to follow along me this journey, let's go. So now we are here at the parks, walking down Main Street, going to enjoy ourselves the season of the Force. I am with my Chew-bacca bandolier bag, got my Wampas jersey, BB-8s on top of my head. We're going to have a good time here. So we're going to make our way over to Batuu, because the majority of things that are happening for season of the Force is going to be in Batuu, Galaxy's Edge, as well as Tomorrowland. Lots of sweet treats, good eats to have, merchandise of course, and a new mysterious cloaked figure in black. It has made an appearance, from what I understand, in Batuu. So hopefully we will see him as well. Of course, later we're going to have to go to Tomorrowland, check out what they have there, and including, of course, take a ride on Hyperspace Mountain, because that is the best of all the forms of Space Mountain. Made it to Batuu, going through the Rise of Resistance side, and I'm assuming the ride is down because the extended queues, I don't see anybody, I don't even see anybody into the caverns yet, so I'm going to assume the ride is down at the moment. Here at the trading post just outside of the ride's exit, brand new shirt here, got Chewie, C-3PO, and BB-8 in a kind of like an army green. This one goes for $39.99 for that one. They do have a, oh look at this, is that Chewie? And a little kid shirt for $26.99, I like that. A matching hat with the Falcon coming out of the spire. A girl's shirt here with the droids, I like that. So we actually just went inside the booth, the one that's next to the pet shop here, and they had the decoder cards. Now if you remember from last year, they had a scavenger hunt that you would get at Tomorrowland, and then you fulfill it here, find like the canisters that had the letters on them in airbrush, and then exchange them for a specially priced card. And it was a translated card, as you can see on the back, it's got airbrush on the backside. But if you go to this store right over here, they just had them to give them for free. Obviously they're leftovers probably from last year. But it's pretty cool, so I picked me up one of Chew-bacca, because obviously I love Chew-bacca. I'm gonna go stop at Katseca's Kettle, because this is one of the spots in which you can pick up the Death Star bucket, which is one of the items I really wanted. Includes your popcorn at time of purchase, and here it is, not the Death Star, but the popcorn we got. We got the one with the red crate salt. It's just regular buttered popcorn. Good stuff. But this is what we really were after.
That's no moon.
That's a Death Star popcorn bucket. Look how cool it is, and it does light up. We'll show the lights of how it looks. Really nice, and it's a good size one. And if you want the popcorn side, you can let them know, but they send it to you on the side because you want this nice and clean and just to show off to everybody, right? So to activate it, press one time just to turn the lights on, and you can see the lights of the Death Star. But then to really make it go, you press it twice down below. And it's hard to hear, but I'll put it next to the microphone. You can kind of hear some noise going. The battery's activating, the power surge is happening, and the lights go. And there goes Alderaan. Well, look at this. The mysterious cloaked figure that we heard that landed in Batuu is the one and only Luke Skywalker, the great Jedi, and he is here meeting with some fellow fans of the Force. Well, with all characters that meet out here in Batuu, they do walk around. They don't necessarily have lines or stands, but he right here is meeting with guests now in front of the mini little speeders that are right over here.
Join me this way.
Will do, Master Skywalker. But I want to welcome you to Batuu, Master Skywalker.
Thank you for your warm welcome.
Thank you very much.
The villagers, the Batuans are very, very, very nice.
They're very nice, they're very good.
I must keep a low profile though, and I seem to draw a lot of attention.
You know, I've been noticing that lately. I don't know.
It might be my Jedi robes.
you know
They're
what?
very customary for a Jedi, don't you think?
I do believe them, especially, well, I don't know necessarily per se. My boots are little, well, they're made from real Wookiee.
Oh, wow.
So, I don't know. Well, there's been many
Made from real Wookiee.
real Wookiee, yes. Well, the Wookiees had a
Live
past.
Wookiee.
Well, not anymore, unfortunately, but you know. But I was going to think, you know what you could do to distract some of these folks? Maybe you could do some Jedi mind tricks to keep them away from you.
I feel that might draw more attention, though, to the Force users who are here.
Ah, that's true,
I
yes.
never know.
Wonderful.
But I hope to find the Jedi texts in order to rebuild the Jedi Order.
That's good.
It's good.
I will try to find them for you if you will allow me to.
I can count on you as an ally then.
We finally got a chance to meet with Master Skywalker. He was exciting to be with. So he's looking for the old Jedi text, and I promised him that I would help him try to find them. Because I may not necessarily be a Jedi, I may not necessarily be part of the First Order, but I go to the highest bidder. That's the way I work, you know. We were getting on the waiting list for Oga's, because I do know that there are a couple beverages that I need to try for Season of the Force. So excited for this. Gotta love Oga's. I've never seen a more wretched hive of scum and villainy in my whole life. Except for those guys right there. That's definitely some wretched hive right over there. The rumor is true. The great Mythosaur mug is here. This is the mug, the souvenir mug you can get for Seasons of the Force. As with all souvenir drinks that they give you, the drink comes in the mug, but you're not going to take this actual mug. They're going to have brand new ones there in boxes for you to take home with you. Obviously, we got the Mythosaur skull here from that of the Mercs, the Mandos, and there is some writing on the back, which I have the translation over here. Excuse the butchering of the language, but it is Midra Bati Meg Eralais Kote Lo Jesus Narit, which roughly translates to "We never forgive those who take glory from the weak." So the drink is called the Netra Gal, which essentially is a black ale in Mando. It consists of the White Wampa Ale, which I love that drink, and of course got my White Wampas right there. Apple cider and cherry puree. So I don't know what they say in Mando for cheers. I'm gonna go skol. That sounds, that's Viking, but it sounds apropos for the moment. Not bad. It's just a fruitier version of the White Wampa Ale. It's not bad at all. I enjoy it. 4.5 out of 5. It's a good drink. It's not bad. The second drink, the new one for Season of the Force, is called the High Republic, which has Patron Silver Tequila, Triple Sec, Lime Juice, Pure Cane, and Habanero Lime Syrup, topped with a red wine. And it looks pretty. Like, look at the color on it. Very nice. So for lack of a better word, it's pretty much like a margarita with a wine topper, wine floater. It has a little sangria-y taste to it when you mix. Just obviously I have more of the red wine on the top part, so I'm going to mix it up a little bit better. But that was a little hint of sangria at first sip. It's hard on the margarita. There is a slight kick, very slight kick, but it's good. I don't know how I feel. It's just me personally. I'm not a big fan of red wine. Again, it has a little sangria taste, but it's more of a margarita. This one didn't wow me so much. 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, I'm glad I tried it. Just no. Oh, Oga, wonderful drinks. I got full with those 2 drinks, but my wallet is a little lighter. Thank you very much. We're here in front of the Falcon, which later tonight will be ablaze in a show of glory and fire and whatnot, because a new show that's premiering for Seasons of the Force, that is Shadows of Memory, a Skywalker saga, a projection show. I've seen some clippets of it. Pretty much the spires right above me are going to have projections of the Skywalker family, from Anakin all the way up to Luke Skywalker and whatnot. And then it's going to conclusion, it times up with the Fire of the Rising Moons, which is what they call the fireworks show portion here. It's the fireworks that are connected to Disneyland proper, that you see, like, the projections on Main Street and on the castle. But what they do, they have their own little soundtrack back in that goes to those fireworks here, and that is called Fires of the Rising Moons in Batuu. But in the meantime, we did order some food over at Docking Bay 7. Nothing new per se, but a return of my personal favorite food item that has been served ever at Docking Bay 7. And at least it's here for a short time. Not a long time, but a good time. The return of my favorite dish ever at Docking Bay 7, the Dewback chili noodles. When they first came out, they were better. Like, the chili sauce was hotter and you could actually get a side of chili sauce. Then they kind of dumbed it down a little bit on the hot sauce or the hot spiciness. I guess people were complaining too much. Portion size, of course, that we all know at Doggy Bay 7's gotten smaller too, but I digress on that part. But the Dewback chili noodles has always continued to be my favorite item, and I look forward to it every time it returns. This needs to be a permanent item on the menu. I don't care. It needs to be permanent. But we have spiced fettuccine noodles, gingered ground pork with Brussels sprout leaves, and shredded red cabbage with a little kick, hence the spicy Dewback noodles. I love this stuff. And the noodles themselves are thinner noodle. They used to be like really wide noodles, like probably at least like 3 times as wide. Now they're really thin noodles. But there's a little kick on there. Out of 10, the kick is probably about a 3, going on 3.5, maybe even touching close to 4. It's nice. So they actually brought back the spice a little bit. Flavors are delicious. It's why it's my favorite item here at Dr. Bay 7. I want this all year round. If I would love it so much, but alas, unfortunately, it doesn't happen. But this is a 5 out of 5 item. I absolutely love these noodles. So make sure to get them while they're here for Season of the Force. Another item we end up getting is the other souvenir item. Currently right now, you can pick this up in Docking Bay 7. This is the Coaxium Canister. That comes with a free, well, I should say free, but it comes with a drink at the time of purchase. You have soft drinks, you have the move juice, you can get the Fatro, but we ended up actually getting a favorite of ours, and that is the Black Cap Coffee. This is actually an upcharge of $1, but for $1, we'd rather have this. And of course, they serve it to you separately. But when it comes to Coaxium, what's cool about this is that the canister itself is actually really well built, real solid, and it kind of looks like an old school lightsaber, which is really nice. But you open it up. Did you see that? Yeah, one more time. And that is where you can actually put the container of juice. It does come with a straw that you can put into container. You see, it does come with its own special straw. Open it up here. Put your beverage in there. Straw hole at the top that you can see. But it lights up. And look how cool that is. So you can, you're walking around Disneyland with a coaxium cable drinking like that. That's cool. And I believe this was $19.95. Again, $1 more for the Black Cap. Well, since we were at it, this crazy looking thing right here, this is the fried Falumpa set cheese skewer from Ronto Roasters. Seriously, look at that weird thing. But it's got cheese and potato, and those are like 2 of my favorite things. So we had to try this. And it comes with a cheese, or actually it's a mustard cheese dipping sauce. I'm gonna try it first without the dipping sauce, and then we'll try it together. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm gonna try it with the mustard cheese sauce now. This is the best way to describe it. It's essentially a cheese dog on a stick. So have you ever had hot dog on a stick? And they got the cheese ones, version, cheese stick on a stick? That's pretty much what it is. But the cornmeal is potato-y. It honestly feels like I'm encasing it in potato chips, like Lay's potato chips. And then these little crunchy bits of potatoes on top of it add another flavor, crispiness and potato-y. It's all good. This is a 5 out of 5. I can honestly live without the mustard cheese sauce. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's good on its own. Good amount of cheese. Like I said, it's like a cheese stick, just kind of like they roll like Lay's potato chips in as well too, in the breading. Over at the milk stand, nothing necessarily a special for Season of the Force, but they do have the return of the Torderia Swirl green milk with chili lime seasoning and mango popping spheres. That's the only thing special. You can of course pick up the milk orb sipper, but that has been around forever. Not necessarily related to Season of the Force, but here at the Droid Depot, the bags that they always have that you can carry your droids outdoors, now they got a clear vinyl on them so you can see what they look like. I also ask this all the time, but if anybody wants to buy me that Wampa, please do so. Or you know what, I'll even take the Tauntaun. No, I'm not picky at all. That'll do it for about 2 for the time being. We're gonna go now to the other side of the park, to Tomorrowland. Some grub is there to try out. I do know I want to get one of the slushies that has the lightsabers on them. They have the Coca-Cola one that comes with Darth Vader's lightsaber, and then blueberry one I believe comes with Luke's lightsaber. So we're gonna go do that. Some new merchandise as well there too. And of course we have to go on Hyperspace Mountain. How could you come to Season of the Force and not try Hyperspace Mountain. For Season of the Force, but here at the Galactic Grill, you can pick up the drink that has the Darth Vader helmet cup, the Grogu sipper, as well as that Yoda stainless steel sipper that we saw earlier. And of course, they do have the two lightsaber versions, the red and blue, Luke's and or Vader's. And we picked up, thank you. And we picked up the Vader's version right over there. It comes in the Coke slushie, and you see red Vader's lightsaber in there. I love it. This is pretty cool. It's not that bad of a little nifty thing. It's actually really cool. I wonder how does it turn off and on here? That's a very good question, actually.
6.5 hours later.
Oh, hey, oh, there it is. Figure it out. It actually does have a button activation. That's pretty cool. This is not a terribly priced item. Pretty cool. And it just comes with a Coca-Cola slushie for Darth Vader. If you want Luke's, it comes with a blue raspberry version. So, and I needed the red one because I'd rather have the red lightsaber, as you would imagine. Also here at the Galactic Grill, they do have another item for Season of the Force, a pistachio raspberry parfait or cherry parfait. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's the exact same thing that they had for when Book of Boba Fett came out, and it was a Boba Fett inspired parfait, because I remember it being pistachio and cherry. So, and I don't think I was the biggest fan of it, to be honest with you. So, but that is another item that they have there too. They also have some loaded Outpost fries, which are fries with a whole loaded bunch of everything on there. We're not going to get those because we're saving some room for some other items. But those are the items you can get at Galactic Grill. And of course, the churro cart in Tomorrowland has the blue raspberry or spicy red cinnamon churros. You can choose light side or dark side. At the pretzel stand, they got the Pekka pretzel, which is a cream cheese filled pretzel, and taro sweetened condensed milk topped with chocolate cream cookie crumbles. Not a terrible line, honestly, at the moment here, but the popcorn cart that's in Tomorrowland is the area where you can also pick up the Death Star popcorn bucket with the traditional popcorn of Disneyland. Well, let's go into Star Trek and see what merchandise they got. How we doing, fellas? R2 and C-3PO out here. This is all part of the Her Universe or Our Universe by Ashley Eckstein. She was here actually recently, a couple days ago, but she launched a new Star Wars line. This is the sweater that has, let's see, Leia, Han, Chewie, and Yoda right there. Got like a 90s graffiti-esque look to it as well. Anything on the back? Nope, nothing on the back. She does have a couple shirts added on there. First one is Princess with a graffiti-style-esque look of Princess Leia. I believe there is a Daddy Darth Vader. And I like this one except for the fact that it says Daddy. And the same motif of that graffiti with neon coloring. This cool little belt bag. Ooh. Pretty good chrome buckle, metal. I like it. It's really nice. Crossover belt bag. I might actually get that because I'm a fan of belt bags like that. Got this pullover, half zip sweater. Graffiti on the front portion right there. Pink in the collar. And it does say Artist Showcase on the backside. Ashley Eckstein. A long sleeve shirt. This one actually I may pick up. I do like the color. The kind of blue, light sky blue, teals. Same characters on the left sleeve. But then we have a light side and a dark side. You can see there's Vader, Stormtrooper, Palpatine, and Boba. Oh, that's cool. Graffiti style shirt here. Got the Falcon and the Rebel symbol going all about. Here, this is pretty cool because this is a lounge fly that not only looks good because it's obviously Darth Vader, but then the lightsaber actually lights up, which is really cool. Nice looking. Got the symbol on the back. Got this hoodie right over here. Yeah, you can clearly see has the blue and red buttons on the front of Vader. Here's the introduction of something that's new. Well, they've been around for a little while, but new additions for Season of the Force. It's a customized headband. So you pick up a headband here for $10, but then they got these cool little cute characters that you can put onto the headband and make it your own. We got here some large ones here. We got Yoda, Wicket, R2-D2. We got some Stormtroopers there, and Big Bad Vader Daddy. Ooh, a beach towel for $34.99. A hat as well too. Little kid shirt here, Vader. This shirt I'm actually a fan of. I like this because it's on a black shirt with like the star pattern in the background. Kind of like a constellation aspect for Darth Vader. I like that. I am not the biggest fan of shirts that are the black on black, but this one I like. It's a nice camp shirt, really nice and soft. And you can see close up, it's got prints of Vader on there. I like that one. Oh, here's another hat. Don't know if it's necessarily for Season of the Force, but $29.99 for this hat. This one is brand new. I know that because it matches the sweater I saw earlier. This is really cute. So apparently it's kind of like a lucky 8-ball where you press his head.
What are my orders?
Okay, and then you can give him a wish or an ask and see what happens. I want you to get me to 1 million subscribers.
Force it to happen.
Oh, I can't force it to happen. I just gotta let it happen on its own. Thank you, Lord Vader. These are some cute ears. I like this. Darth Vader, a vinyl red bow, the logo. This is actually a real cool shirt. They have an adult version of it. It's like comic book version of Star Wars and Vader. And this one goes for $26.99, but this is the kid version. And because of the return of Hyperspace Mountain, they do have a shirt for the commemoration of that. This one, oh, no price on it, but I imagine it's like $29.99 for this shirt. Black with red lettering, nothing particularly on the back. And a few more items here. This shirt's actually calling my name a little bit, obviously because of the color. Vader, plans for the Death Star. Very nice. This one goes for $34.99 on it. I don't think there's anything on the back. Nope. But it's a pretty good looking shirt. But I do like this hoodie a lot. Too bad it is not a zip up. If not, I would get it. But again, that cartoon-esque version of, or comic book version of Star Wars. As we walk through Tomorrowland, I reminded myself of a few more novelty items. Coming soon in April 8th is the one that I personally am the most excited for, and that is a Tauntaun popcorn bucket. That is the one I am most excited for. I love Hoth, and that Tauntaun bucket looks so cool. The only question I really have about it, though, is that does that bucket keep the popcorn hot or just lukewarm? For May the 4th, 2 more items are going to be happening, and I'm definitely going to get at least one of them. That first one being the Jawa sipper, which looks so cool and cute. I love it. I love Jawa, so I'm going to get that one. And the other item is going to be the Clone Trooper helmet, and I'm not the biggest fan of that one. I really could care less about the Clone Trooper helmet, so I might skip that one. But both of those are coming out during May the 4th.
Flashback.
Taking a quick little detour at downtown Disney, going to the Star Wars Trading Post. Check out what merchandise they may have here. And nothing in particular with regards to Season of the Force, but did notice that they have some new doors set up at the front entrance to the Trading Post. Interesting. And here is one of the new baseball jerseys that came out. This one is the Boba Fett one, which is really cool. Galactic Outlaw Boba Fett. Oh, look at that on the back. That's really cool. 80 for Empire Strikes Back. Got the cool patch logo on there. Very nice. And you can even tell that that's some real good logo lettering effect on the jersey. And this one goes for $74.99. There is a Hoth one as well too that I'm trying to see. I don't see here at the Trading Post. I'll go now into the Grand California to go check out the lobby, because there is some cool Star Wars stuff happening in the lobby of the Grand. I wanted to go over here to the Craftsman Grill because they have a particular snack I really want to try. You know, I am a big fan of Chew-bacca. He's my favorite character, and they got a specialty donut of his here, and they kind of are limited. Like, you pretty much have to come in the morning to really get one of these donuts because they are so popular. They usually sell out. Lucky day. They did run out this morning, but the bakery was making some fresh batches, so we got a nice, look at how cute this Chew-bacca donut is. It's a maple bar, that's all it really is. They put the little white chocolate bandolier, like my bandolier. Wookie, going crazy. Oh, looking forward to it. Smells delicious. I love maple bars. Seriously, look how cute that is. I'll bite this side of them right here. Chocolate and white chocolate on the ears, or I should say the eyes and the mouth. I know the bandolier is white chocolate. That's a pretty good donut. I mean, not gonna knock your socks off, but it's got a little extra Disney magic to make it taste a little bit better. So it's pretty good. 4.5 out of 5. This was worth it. Thankfully, they were able to get me one. At the same time, they actually came out with the Yoda one. I'm gonna call this the Grogu, and this is really cute. This is actually honestly cuter than the Wookiee one, but So it's a white chocolate, it's a vanilla cake donut, and then you can see they put the white chocolate up top for the coloring of the green, and then milk chocolate on the bottom here, and then some white chocolate ears. Yep, white chocolate ears. Let's get a little bite here. Sorry to do this to you, buddy. Donut-wise, flavor-wise, the Chew-bacca one was better. So this is still a good donut. 4 out of 5 on this donut. And each donut, I believe, was like $8, I think. With my discount, it ended up being like $14 and some change. So, you know, a little pricey of a donut, but then again, it is season of the Force, so you have to have it. Now we're actually back in the lobby, and over here, for celebrating the season of the Force, the piano, first of all, has been moved over here on the backside where they usually have like the backdrop. It usually used to be always right there in the center. But not only that, at 4 o'clock and 7:30 each day, you can gather around the piano for some galactic Star Wars music. Right now, we're listening to Pocahontas. So, but then right next door is the treats of goodies. And these are returning favorites from last year. We got the fruit-flavored whoopie pie in the shape of Yoda or Grogu, your choice. The chocolate falcon popsicles. The pretzel, the chocolate-covered pretzels, lightsabers. Of course, you got the Wookiee cookie. And a Stormtrooper Rice Krispie snack cake. And some delectable macarons. And a sugar cookie with a candied X-Wing fighter on it. It's a Death Star. The galactic creation, this showpiece of cosmic proportions, took 240 hours to complete, created by the wonderful pastry team here at the hotel. 160 pounds of crisped rice cereal, 150 pounds of fondant, 80 pounds of powdered sugar, 80 pounds of marshmallows, 40 pounds of chocolate, 30 pounds of butter, and 24 pounds of egg whites, which equates to about $400 in today's market. And if you take a very close look at the detail, obviously he's got some galaxies, nebulas, planets below. You can see some lights kind of popping through, but we did find out from a cast member that unfortunately the battery mechanism inside is broken, so they need to fix it. But apparently the Death Star actually rotates and lights up very similar to how the popcorn bucket does.
End of flashback.
Of course, you can always go on Star Tours, but that is nothing new for Season of the Force. But it is always a fun ride for any Star Wars fan. And usually waits don't get too bad. Right now it's hovering at about 20-25 minutes. Time has come, time to go on Hyperspace Mountain. My favorite version of all the Space Mountains. Honestly, I know I love Space Mountain Traditional. If they ended up removing it and making this the permanent version, I wouldn't be too sad about that. But they do need to bring back the Ghost Galaxy one. That was supreme.
This is Blue Leader. All wings report in.
Blue 6 standing by. Blue 2 standing by. Blue 4 here.
Blue 5 standing by. Blue 3 standing by.
Blue 7 standing by. Good luck, pilots.
All wings prepare to jump into hyperspace on my mark. Punch it!
Coming your way!
All wings fall back.
3 marks coming in at .04. It's a trap!
They always play music in Tomorrowland, but during Season of the Force, they're playing nothing but John Williams' hits from the movie franchise. And you can hear it really coming from the old Radio Disney Tower, or the People Mover, or the Rocket Rods. You choose. Tubatu to see the new show, the Skywalker Saga show that's going to be. It's a projection show on the spires right behind the Falcon and narrating. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see, it should be showing in about 10-15 minutes. So let's hurry up and see if we can get a spot.
Tonight, I invite you to join me around the fire of memory for a tale of prophecy. The story of a destiny fulfilled, a darkened curse, and a final redemption.
The Force was unusually strong in him. Could he be the chosen one? His life was without freedom, but he would grow to become cunning and brave, Soon these talents would draw the eyes of evil. The boy matured, and a love blossomed between a powerful queen and a noble knight. Fear of losing the ones he loves. A darkness began to rise. The galaxy fell into darkness, but the brave rose to meet it. Even in the midst of cold desolation, the embers of love burned bright. A young Jedi learned the old ways. A brother and sister were reunited and brought light back to the galaxy, finally securing a time of peace for a while. Raise your lights high against the darkness and share this tale. In the name of resistance, speak the name Skywalker. Skywalker! Skywalker! Skywalker!
That was amazing. I loved it. Now, that was kind of like in the realm of like how Universal Studio does with the Harry Potter, Hogwarts Castle kind of vibe to it. Storytelling at its greatest, I love it. Projections were pretty good. Now, I will admit though, obviously this land was probably not built, including the spires, for projections. That's an afterthought. So some of the angles, depending on where you're standing, you're gonna get a terrible view. We ended up going, kind of starting off really deep over there by the gate. We moved a little bit eventually more sideways once people kind of shimmied. We were able to shimmy a little more to the left and got a better angle. But if you want the best angle, the best view, you want to be like right here. This is the ultimate view of everything, because what's going to happen is you're going to get the storyteller starting right over there with his little ghost projection. The main projection is going to be on that spire right there. That's where a lot of the characters were at. The whole spire itself gets projection, but the characters that we were able to not really see too well were right here on this spire. There is some projections going off of the right of Smuggler's Run ride building over here, but that really wasn't too much a part of the show. The majority of where you really want to focus your efforts on are these two spires right here. One last little bit of housekeeping. We're here in front of Savi's. We're actually, we're not supposed to let people know. This is just a junkyard, little scrapper heap. There's nothing much to it. But for those in the know, Savi's workshop where you can build yourself a lightsaber. But anyway, starting May 4th, for May the 4th, they are going to bring in a new hilt, reclaimed and reforged. And from what I see in the pictures, I'll put a picture of it right here. It's going to be in the story, the old rusted metal, brass. It looks like pieces from cruisers and ships that they forged together to make a lightsaber. I've seen a picture of it so far about what it's supposed to look like, a little leak. I'm excited for that. I actually may build myself a new lightsaber if what I saw is true. I'm excited. So, and with that, that's going to do it for our time here at Disneyland for Season of the Force. Had an absolutely amazing time checking out all the great food, the merchandise, everything that has to do with Star Wars. Fun time. If you are a fan of Star Wars, make sure to come down here and check out the Season of the Force. Limited time running through. Definitely not to be missed. So with all that being said, hope you had a great time. If you did, do me a big favor, give it a big thumbs up on the video. Second, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, you haven't done so already. Third, hit that notification bell. Take it one step further, follow me on social media at Big Red Journeys on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram for even more content. You will follow me, you will subscribe. So from me to you, thank you, and may the Force be with you, and then I'll see you on the next journey. Bye-bye now.